It's festival time in Jerusalem. The streets are full. Voices, sandals, palms, dust. Every year they come to remember, to worship. But this year feels different. Something is stirring. Someone is coming. A crowd buzzes with anticipation. Miriam and Ezra stand just outside the city gate, palms in hand.
Do you feel it, Ezra? The air feels electric.
It's always like this during Passover. Too many people, too much noise, too much expectation. And now they say he's coming?
Yes, Jesus of Nazareth.
The healer? The teacher?
The one who raised the dead.
Wait, a donkey? Are we talking about the same man? That's not how kings ride into Jerusalem. A conqueror comes on a war horse, tall, powerful, not low to the ground with twitchy ears.
Or maybe he's not the kind of king we expect.
The crowd begins to gather more tightly. Some lay cloaks on the road. Others wave branches. The donkey enters, plodding gently. Town person 3 kneels and lays down a palm branch.
Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord.
Why the palm branches, Miriam? Why lay them down?
It's a sign of honor, of welcome. We used to wave them when generals returned from battle. It says, we see you, we celebrate you, you're worthy.
But he hasn't fought a battle, hasn't claimed any territory.
Maybe he has, just not the way you're thinking.
Excuse me. Pardon the interruption. But could someone explain why everyone is shouting while I'm doing all the walking? And before anyone says it, yes, I know. Prophecy. Zechariah said so. But still, I've carried sacks of barley that made more sense than this.
Even the donkey can feel how strange and holy this is.
Oh, it's holy, all right. But not because of me. It's what I'm carrying. He hasn't said a word, but his silence is louder than most speeches.
What do you mean?
You'll see. Some of you already do. Some of you think this is the beginning of a revolution. Some think it's the end of something. He knows. That's the part that gets me. He knows exactly where this road leads, and he keeps on walking.
The energy shifts slightly as the crowd continues chanting.
He's not stopping. He's not waving. Why doesn't he say anything?
Maybe words aren't enough right now. Maybe this entrance is the message.
And what's the message then?
That he chooses peace, that he chooses humility, that he doesn't come to conquer the city, but to change the world.
With a donkey and some palm branches?
With love, with courage, with a cross. You feel it, don't you?
I don't know what I feel. It's like I'm caught between cheering and weeping.
That sounds about right.
A man steps out from the crowd. He's dusty, tired, but peaceful. He recognizes Ezra.
Ezra, Ben Hill.
Jonah, I haven't seen you since we were boys at temple school.
I've been following him for almost 3 years now.
Following who?
Jesus. He called me from my debts and left everything. I've seen him do things I still don't have words for, but what stays with me isn't the miracles. It's the way he looks at people, like he's seen who they really are, even the parts they hide, and still he loves them.
But what does he want from us?
Nothing and everything. He wants us to follow, but not like soldiers, like friends. He invites us to walk with him, to love like he does, even when it costs something.
The disciple is swept back into the moving crowd. Ezra stands quietly for a moment.
Did you hear that, Miriam?
Yes, it sounds less like a revolution and more like a revelation.
I heard he wept over the city as he approached. Why did he weep? The crowd was with him.
Because he knows crowds are fickle. Today they shout Hosanna. Tomorrow, who knows?
And he still rides on.
That's what kings do. Not the kings of empires, but the kings of hearts.
The crowd begins to thin slightly as Jesus and the donkey approach the temple gates. The chanting fades, a quiet reverence settles. And so he enters the city, not as a conqueror, but as a servant, not in glory, but in humility. They didn't yet understand what kind of kingdom he was bringing, but something in them recognized the king.
Miriam, do you think he'll really change anything?
He already has.
On that day, the road was filled with noise, with palm branches, with prophecy, but underneath it all, there was a question hanging in the air, unspoken but everywhere. What kind of king do we really want? And what kind of kingdom are we ready to follow?
He came not on a war horse, but on a donkey, low to the ground, unarmored, unthreatening, not leading an army, but walking with the poor, the hopeful, the broken, and the curious. Everything about his entrance into the city was a reversal of what we expect from someone we call king. He chose the path of humility over spectacle, of vulnerability over dominance, the donkey, not the stallion, the cloak-covered road, not the red carpet. From the very start, he subverted our assumptions about power, about greatness, about God. This is how he begins his final week, by making sure we understand what kind of kingdom this really is.
The crowd is loud, joyful, and full of energy. They wave palms and shout Hosanna. And many of them are sincere, touched by a healing, changed by a word, filled with hope that something new is about to happen. But the truth about crowds is this: they are easily swayed. Today's celebration can become tomorrow's condemnation. The same voices that cheer can turn to silence or even to scorn when the story doesn't unfold the way they hoped. The crowd is not evil, it's human, fickle, afraid, desperate. And Jesus knows this. He rides into the welcome knowing it won't last. He accepts their joy even as he carries the weight of what's coming.
Jesus never fit the mold of a leader. He didn't assert dominance. He didn't call in favors. He didn't wield political strength. Instead, he redefined power altogether. He washed feet. He told stories. He sat with outcasts. He didn't organize an uprising. He invited people to dinner. When people looked for a warrior, he offered a teacher. When they wanted vengeance, he offered mercy. His authority was not rooted in control, but in love. Love that risks, love that serves, love that stays. Palm Sunday reminds us that God's power doesn't look like empire. It looks like compassion. It looks like presence. It looks like Christ.
Only a few days separate the cheers from the silence. Today, Jesus is surrounded by song, by celebration, by people pressing close to see him. but soon he will be alone. One will betray him, another will deny him, the rest will scatter. It's easy to follow when the path is lined with palm branches. It's harder when the way leads to suffering. But Jesus doesn't flinch. He doesn't turn back. He enters the city knowing that acclaim will turn to abandonment. And still, he enters. Still, he walks forward. That kind of love, steady, self-giving, unwilling to protect itself at the expense of others, is what will carry us through this week.
Palm branches dry out. Cloaks are picked back up. The songs fade and the city returns to its rhythm. But something has shifted. Jesus has arrived, and everything is different now. This is a different kind of king, and we are being invited into a different kind of kingdom, one that cannot be enforced or manufactured, only chosen and lived. So we enter this Holy Week not just remembering what happened long ago, but allowing ourselves to be drawn into it again, into the mystery, the sorrow, the surrender, and the hope. The palms are only the beginning. The road ahead is long, but love leads the way.